Good morning. I want to welcome Michael Giordano, the owner of Cutting Edge Stoneworks, this morning to Boss Business Owner Success Stories. Mike, it's great to have you here this morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Great. Well, tell us a little bit about Cutting Edge Stoneworks.
Cutting Edge Stoneworks, we established it about 13 years ago. I've been in the business for almost 30 years of stonework, fabrication, countertops. Been through a lot of changes. In New York, we had a company with 2 locations. We've used consultants before. Grew that company to $108 million. A little over 300 full-time employees, 75, we'll call it temp employees. I kind of went to the wayside. Me and my brother-in-law didn't really get along. It just wasn't the right fit as far as management. Came down here to North Carolina, opened my company 13 years ago, like I said before. We're at 45 employees right now. We've gone through our struggles. We've gone through struggles. We've had consultants in before, and they look at the money side. They stay for 2 weeks and they go. Now that we are with Action Coaching, Action Day, things are different. We're looking at the people as opposed to the dollars and cents coming in, dollars and cents going out. We're looking more at accountability and make us more of a team as opposed to Mike's company. It's Cutting Edge Stoneworks now. We continually try to grow, and I think that's where Dave's going to be helping us a lot. I like it that I get to meet with him every week as opposed to 7 days straight, and all of a sudden I never see a person again, and they've gotten their money and they've moved on, and here we are holding a bag of tricks, and I got to remember to pull the tricks out, no one to keep me accountable, and make things go the way they have to go.
What a lot of business owners, they go in, I guess, with some misunderstandings of what it's like to own a business. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. There's no short-term fixes or solutions. It's doing the right things. They don't have to be big things, but they can be significant things in a small way, very consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out. And over time, that's where the successes come. I think that's what I see in you is you're always looking. You probably don't realize it in yourself, but a lot of individuals look very short term. You have this ability to look a little further out, and so you know where you want to go. But having that team in place and the resources around you to help execute on all of that has been key. And you said you've got 45 employees?
45 employees now. Since working with Dave, since he's ignited the fire, I'll say, I thought we'd just stay where we are. And I think originally my plans were, I just want to fix what we got. Don't really want to make ours any bigger. But since going through the training with Dave and the weekly meetings, he's ignited a fire. We've bought a building with Dave. We'll be moving in there in the next 6 months. We're also looking to eventually put a second location in the Carolinas. And we constantly talk about that with the management team. The management constantly talks with that with the employees, so they know what's going on. We want to be a better Cutting Edge Stoneworks. We want to be a place where people want to come work, they're going to be held accountable at the same time. So they can be held accountable and they can make a decent living. And it makes it easy for all of us. If we all do our jobs, it makes everyone's lives easier. It makes going to work fun.
Yeah. It's exciting too. And I know when I first met you, you're not that different than many other business owners that have, had some successes. Like you said, you had a tremendously successful business up north and came here and building another one. But a lot of business owners tend to hit a plateau, either because they lose energy, they lose excitement. Hey, I'm good. But they say good is the enemy of great. And to get that inspiration, whatever that is, to be able to look again and rebuild that fire. And that's what I love in seeing you. I heard the fire had been squelched a little bit. You want to sharpen the pencil, get a little bit more out of your business, and as it was. But now I see you on fire and some of the things that you're doing and looking forward. It's really exciting. So tell me, kind of skipped over, I guess, but help me understand exactly what your business is, the product or service you provide. Share with people what an ideal customer for you is. What do you look for in the marketplace for Cutting Edge Stoneworks?
We typically deal with we are 99% of our business is builders, and we like the higher end builders. We like the builders building the $1 million to $2 million homes. It's a sweet spot for us because through customer service and myself, we service the customer from the day they sign the contract with their builder to the day they move in. We love that little market, and it's a bigger job. It takes more work because it's not like we're in and out real fast. We have the ability to, just to service them, make them feel that they've been 100% taken care of from beginning to end, that they've been serviced. More than serviced, I don't know really what the word is. They've been totally taken care of. They have complete satisfaction when we're done with the job, and that's through communication before we start the job, creating the budget. After we do the templates, going over all the information, and even as far as after the job is installed, doing a walk through the house with them to look at everything, make sure that everything has been taken care of to their complete satisfaction.
Excellent. So what area do you cover? You're located currently in Mooresville is your location.
We cover Mooresville. We have about 120-mile radius out of Mooresville. So we go Ballantyne, Fort Mill, Rock Hill, Waxhaw, come around Winston-Salem, Wilkesboro, Boone, Blowing Rock, Hickory, and then lower would be like Gastonia, which is like it's the South Carolina border, and back around to Charlotte. 95% of our business is really around the lake, Mooresville, Cornelius, Davison. We do have some large communities that we take care of over in Ballantyne through a franchise builder, AR Homes. We don't discriminate. We do a lot of work in Charlotte too. We don't say no to too many high-end jobs.
Right. So if I were to ask you, what's one or two things that really sets Cutting Edge Stoneworks apart from the competition? What makes you unique in the marketplace? What would you say?
We do what we say. If we're going to say we're going to be there on Monday, we're going to be there on Monday. And matter of fact, Friday you're going to get a phone call knowing that we're going to be there on Monday. And just the quality of our work. I think on our worst day, we're 150% better than someone on their best day. So I just think we hold ourselves to a higher standard. Our employees care about what they do.
Right. And the expectation is clear. The standard is clear. And so you're communicating that across the board, not only to your team, but to the marketplace and your customers and all that. It's real clear what they can expect when they work with Cutting Edge Stoneworks. So
yes.
I really, really like that about you. Tell me, you've been around for a number of years in this business, the one up north, continuing to grow yourself. What are a few of the keys to your, a company of 40 some employees now, you've obviously had some successes. What are some of the sources of learning, areas where you've benefited or even still your go-tos to continue to improve yourself? What are some of your keys to success?
Bringing you on board to one of the keys to success to moving us forward. Continuing reading books on business, having an open ear, an open mind for people's ideas and suggestions. Just because I've developed a process doesn't necessarily mean it's the best process. It's what I know how to do. Having to say, well, let's look at what you have to say. Continually talking with your builders and seeing what they want, talking with your employees to see what they need. How can we fix something here? Listen to it, not just sit with them, but listen to them. Not given the ability to speak without you interrupting them and putting your thoughts in their minds.
They're the experts. They're the ones doing it every day. They are
right.
Smart. And you're paying them good money. They have great ideas. They know what they need to get better. And having those interactions to listen to them.
Expectations.
Yeah.
Their expectation, so that they have rules in place, procedures, so they know what their expectations are, what they need to meet. Not just, okay, you need to do this quote. How do you do that quote?
Right.
How do we install a job? How do we deal with the customers? but don't do it to the point where it's so complicated that all that document's going to do is put you to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're using you to help simplify some of those things. I think if, it's just putting a solid foundation. If you have a solid foundation, you can build any house.
Right.
That's what my saying is. You have a solid foundation, we build any house. If you've got a good foundation, fundamental principles that you make your people follow, we could do anything.
Fantastic. So what's next for Cutting Edge Stoneworks and Mike Giordano?
Well, the big move, we're planning on doing our building right now. We're building our building out. We'll hopefully be in there by July, and hopefully get that place rocking and rolling. It's going to give the ability for us to double our output of the work we're doing. So in return, what that's going to do is giving us the ability to look in other markets. Right now, we're attacking the interior design market. We hired a new salesperson. She is going after that market full-heartedly, and South Carolina, because we're going to be the best in both North and South Carolina. We're going to be best at doing countertops in North and South Carolina. No, we're looking down in Charleston, Savannah, Hilton Head area, somewhere where we can get to any of those markets easily. And who knows where we'll go from there. Maybe after that's Tennessee, but building a business that I can afford to go down there and start that business up, having the people in place so I can go back down there and do that. And once you get that one running the same way, have the ability to go somewhere else, just duplicating what we're learning here and putting it in all the different markets that we go to.
Fantastic. Yeah, exciting days ahead. I'm excited for
very
you.
Exciting, very exciting.
Now.
And the one thing I do have to say is, without action coaching under this route, probably wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't even thought about it. I would just stay in my little lane, in my little area, and just continue to do what we were doing, and probably been happy. But are you really happy? I mean, because eventually what happens, you get complacent. Mm-hmm. And when you get complacent, someone takes your business away.
We're either
if you
growing
don't
or dying. We're either growing or dying. That's right.
And we choose to grow.
Yeah. And interestingly, I was able to meet you through a colleague who had a conversation with you and asked permission to introduce the two of us. And, we kind of had that conversation about, where are you? Where do you want to go? What are the opportunities? And you had certain things on your mind to start with, but as we kind of chipped away at that, you started seeing a lot larger picture, and that fire started growing again. So your bottom line,
open the shade. The shade's been closed. We're not letting the light, and now the shade is open, and there's a big market out there. And I think through the right tools, anybody can grow a business. I mean, the tools that you're providing us, the people watching the videos, the interaction, the meetings, the disc assessments. I think all that is. We had a conversation last night. I know at Thanksgiving they were asking me, because I'd been talking about you. So how did the disc assessments go with your employees? And go, amazing. I know how to deal with all the different characteristics and traits of employees now. Not that I'm manipulating them, but I know what their sweet spots are. I know what they need to want to grow and grow. And I know what I need to do. I know I'm a D, high D, super high D, home, work, everywhere. And I know that I have to tame myself down, because everything doesn't happen on Michael's time.
That's right.
That's right. It's got to happen on our time.
That's right. That's right. Come a long way. So if a business owner was thinking about getting a business coach, what would you tell them?
If they don't do it, they're the stupidest person to face the earth, because you don't. It's a truth. You know what? We all need to be coached in some shape or form. But we think we know it all. We don't. Business coaches open your mind to growing a business the correct way. If I had to say three things, one, they teach you a lot about yourself. And if you don't, you teach things about yourself you don't know, so that you can manage people better. It also teaches how to make a business self-sufficient, so that you can concentrate on the other things that need to be done to grow a business, because it's all about growing. And three, it helps you bring people up the ladder to be more accountable, so that if I do decide to walk away from the business, that business will continue to run
Michael
Cool.
Giordano, owner of Cutting Edge Stoneworks in Mooresville, North Carolina, and beyond, looking for great things in the future. Thank you so much for carving out some time for this Business Owner Success Stories edition of Boss. You reach Michael Giordano, Cutting Edge Stoneworks in Mooresville, North Carolina. Mike, thanks so much.
No problem. And if you want people to speak to me, tell them about the great things you do. I'm great for one-on-ones too.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you.